Hey there. If you're watching this video, that means most definitely you're trying to monetize your blog and become that kind of influencer who sells his courses, his expertise, and wants to make personal brand, maybe an online school or something that would bring stable, sustainable money, income, and actually be a business itself. If you want to quit your 9 to 5, if you're already running your blog, posting daily, making content, and still you're struggling with selling online, then that means this video is for you. I have huge experience because I was selling my own coaching programs within the past 3-4 years, and I can tell you that a lot of money is there online. By just simply being who you are and doing what you love, you can make money, make your business, and most importantly, probably be an impact in people's lives. So I'm here for that. I'm here to spill all the tea for you. Let's get into this, and I would love to ask you some questions. First things first, like, what is your expertise? What is your niche? What do you do? You can write your answers down below in the comment section, or you can either write them in the copybook for yourself, so that this will always be useful tool for you. I love sharing all the ideas where people can kind of self-coach themselves so that they get great results. That's why I want you to write down all the things you're answering and all the things you're thinking about. So first things first, again, what do you do? What is your expertise? What is your niche? And the second question is, does your profile reflect on that? Because whenever we think that our Instagram account, our TikTok, our YouTube, whatever platform it is, we think that our bio and our self-presentation says it all. But in reality, most of our clients, in terms of sales, if they do not buy from you, that's probably they do not understand who you are, what you're doing, how they can reach to you. So this is not easy for them to understand. And you're kind of playing hide and seek. Let me be clear here. I'm not judging. I was one of those kind of experts and coaches myself at some point in my life, whenever I was talking about different things, multiple things, but I wouldn't talk about that particular topic that would generate me leads, that would generate me clients. I would say this probably once a month, and the rest of the time I was just talking about different parts of my life, which was hard for all those people because I was investing huge amounts of money, almost like 80% of my income I would invest in ads. I was paying Instagram for that, I was paying YouTube for the ads, and most of the people wouldn't understand who are they looking at, who is this person, who's this girl. And I highly recommend you make it clear for all of the people who are coming to your blog, who are following you and seeing you for the first time. Make it clear for them to understand how you help them, what you can do, what kind of problems in their life you can solve, and how they could contact you. I mean, that's obviously that they just text you, but why? Why would they text you? So you need to say out loud, open your mouth, or just type it, whatever your blog is. Okay, again, we have Threads right now. That is one of the platforms of Instagram. A lot of people sell there organically. If you're scared of just recording your videos, like me sitting talking to you right now, you prefer texting types of content or maybe sharing photos and posting things. That's okay in terms of Instagram, TikTok, like multiple platforms. You need to be clear what kind of problems you solve. And this is probably the first thing. So now you ask me, okay, girl, I don't know what to say. So my question to you is, if you're a good expert, you're already a coach, maybe you are an architect. I had a client who was a great architect. Or maybe you're a lawyer watching me right now. Or maybe you're a sales assistant or sales manager or top leader or a psychologist. Let me get this through. I work with experts and I'm asking you, if you're an expert, what do you do? How do you help people? That's the first thing, and you write it in the comments or you write it in your copybook. Second question is, what kind of questions do people usually ask you? Like, what kind of problems do they come with? Let me be clear here. Some fitness coaches, whenever they talk to their clients, they know who is their ideal client. A woman who's postpartum, who just had a baby, and she needs to lose 20 kilograms to be sexy in shape, feel confident. So that's how some of the coaches help. And they would highlight this, like, my name is Jack and I help women to be in shape again within 5 weeks. That's it. That's actually the offer already that can be written in the bio, and that would literally sell. But whenever we go to those hide and seek experts, whom I was, again, so that I know what I'm talking about, they always write something that is not clear, and I would rather recommend for people, for coaches, to be precise of how they're perceiving themselves. And how could you describe yourself in one sentence? Like, I'm a sales manager with 17 years of experience. That's what you could say. Or I'm a professional designer, your hard skill, your skill that is in your job. And I would recommend to also add some numbers. The numbers is something really great. Like whenever you put the numbers there, how much money you earned or how much money you brought as a sales manager, how many clients you had as an English teacher, for example, or as a Spanish teacher, how many successful deals you've had as a business owner, how much money you saved to your clients as a mediator. So like, be exact in the numbers. That would also be a really strong point. Now, turning back to your blog. So first we said, what is your niche? What is your expertise? You make it clear. People know this. And it's either you post this content and you pin it, or you make the highlights talking about your Insta, talking about your TikTok, talking about your YouTubes. YouTube is so much easier. You can make like this long videos where you can talk about your expertise and probably share some stories of your clients' wins. This is also so much important. Whenever you talk about your job and whenever you talk about yourself, maybe your wins, you should also talk about your clients' wins. That would sell initially, not like just bragging about how great you are and how much your clients love you. That's also on point, and I believe that you had multiple people working with you and being happy with you, succeeding, and just like still being absolutely grateful for what you've done to them. And yet I think it's not about just bragging, it's about opening up some stories, probably without naming their names, without naming your clients, but just saying like, I had Zoe or Chloe, or I had this kind of client, and still say this girl had a problem. So she was postpartum and she wanted to lose weight. But whenever she tried to do it herself, going to the gym, it would end up as a complete burnout. She would starve herself to the point where she was eating the full cake, at 3 o'clock in the morning, all alone in the kitchen. And now this is Zoe, 6 months later, happy, having better life, going on a dates with her husband, being a mother and actually being happy about her motherhood journey. And that's what we did. Whenever you talk about yourself and the expertise you have and the problems that you solve, you should share what kind of problems did people have that they came to you. In terms of ads, in terms of organic content, whenever your clients come to you, they will see their stories through the stories of your clients. It can be all secure. You don't have to name the names. You don't have to say the names out loud. You can just say like, I had XYZ and I helped myself this way. I also help my clients this way. And this is what sells. On social media, the internet, there are plenty of different coaches. There are plenty of different experts, like millions, hundreds, thousands of people doing the same thing, the same job, literally. But what makes you stand out of all of that people? And you don't really have to stand out at all. Like to earn $10,000, $20,000 monthly consistently, you just need 10 clients a month, and that is more than possible. So like, but what makes you special is that whenever you talk about yourself, your journey, and you share also some cases of your clients and clients' wins, that's how your people will find you, because you share your values, you share how great you are. That would probably be another thing that I recommend to anyone who wants to make consistent income, monetize their blog, and make it as a business, not just as something like a freelance where you cannot predict your income. Take it more seriously and like start sharing, in case you're afraid that somebody might think that what she's sharing, or you think like they will think something bad about you. I kind of love this thing because I went through this myself. What happened to me is in 2022, I wanted to scale my business. I was earning probably consistent, but still like not a big amount of money. It was $2,000, $2,500. And at that time I just moved abroad. So I thought, okay, I just need to change something, because the money I earn in Europe is not that much in comparison to Kazakhstan, where I used to live. I remember that I wanted to raise the ticket to my coaching like 3 times more. At that time it was $1,500, which was a big amount of money for myself, because I didn't charge this amount of money before. And I thought, if I tell people my price, I thought that they would judge me. I thought that they would laugh in my face, look into my eyes and say like, girl, go home. Nobody's gonna buy anything from you. So like I had so many different thoughts running in my head. I was just afraid that people would think something bad about me. And the problem is like whenever you're afraid, okay, you're now trying to run your blog or you're already running it, but whenever it comes to going organically and going viral, you're too scared that somebody might see you and might think something that is bad, let's say it. There is something wrong with you. And the problem is like you can't control their head, you can't control their mind, you can't control their thoughts. And this is where the problem starts. Because you're afraid that they would think something different than you expect, and yet you don't know what they would think, you cannot control what they think. And this is what makes you anxious. Because you used to, especially if you're this kind of controlling person, being in the control of life. I don't even drink alcohol. Because whenever I lose the control, I'm like, oh shit. I'm a control freak. I can accept this in me, and probably you are too. So whenever it comes to thinking what they would think about you, it actually is the thing that is ruining your success. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends at that time, and I said, I want to scale my income and I want to increase the tickets, the prices, coaching. And she said, what are you afraid of? And I'm like, I'm afraid what others would think of me if I say right straight to their face that I charge this amount of money. And she's like, who cares? And that was, I know like that sounds weird, but you have to feel it. And I thought, okay, really, who cares what others think? And I just went on a sales call with my, I would say it wasn't a client, just a woman who randomly left a message like, can you tell me the prices and some more information about your coaching? And we were talking, and I'm like, in the end of the call, I'm naming the price. I was scared, that's the truth. But at the same time, I was like, okay, you're afraid that somebody would think something differently. It doesn't matter. Let's just say it. And I was saying the price, and the thing that she told me, she was like, okay, where can I transfer the money? That was the only thing that she was asking in the end. And I'm like, shit, I was scared as fuck to increase the tickets. Within 1 year, I was too scared to ask for more. And when I realized it doesn't matter what others think of me, I just named the price, and the woman on the other side of the phone, she said, where can I transfer the money? And that blew my mind. That insight was literally the moment when I started making $10,000 on my coaching, online, having all those clients. So if it comes to you right now, thinking what others would think in terms of you posting about your clients' wins, about who you are, how you help people, what they can buy from you, how they can contact you. Remember that insight that I told you. As long as you think of what others think of you, you're not earning money. You're just staying stuck. This position, this place is not making you happy, nor it makes happy those people who would work with you and be actually happy. So whenever it comes to fears, I believe that, like in some healthy cases, fears of naming the prices, fears of moving to another country, fears of traveling, fears of trying something new, those like healthy things that we want to try, but yet we kind of stop ourselves because of being afraid of something. I strongly believe that the only solution that might be done in this situation, whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is just to start and to try. That's it. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. Karina was with you.